All right, the president just saying we know of no credible threat. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. We've got your back. We've got you covered. And authorities are looking at anything and everything, anyone and everyone if something should go amiss. And, of course, if that ever escalates to that level, he'll let us know. Reaction now from former New York State Terror Task Force co-chair Robert Strang on what the president just outlined. What do you think?
Well, it was reassuring for the cops and the special agents, or the military and the private security people who are working all this weekend. And he's right, because everybody is working overtime. Everybody is out there 24/7, making certain that this American holiday, this unique holiday, is safe at such a crucial time with ISIS really developing and reaching out and trying to get things going around the world. So it was reassuring. It was nice to hear. But at the same time, we still know that we're on heightened alert, and we know that ISIS is here. We know that Al-Qaeda is here. And we worry about copycat issues, and we worry about things that may happen this holiday weekend.
Now, of course, we're looking at New York's Times Square. As you're speaking, we're going to have a big Thanksgiving Day parade here in Manhattan. Obviously, they're getting ready for that. There is a beefed-up police presence. What does that do to potential terrorists when they just see all of that, Robert?
Well, it's helpful. Whenever you set, like in New York, we have 1,300 units, responsive units for counterterrorism right here just for the parade. And then you have all of your regular police officers who are working the streets that are very visible. And clearly, they're going to go somewhere where the cops aren't. So the more CCTV cameras you have, the more police officers, the more agents, the more security, the less likely these terrorists will pick. They're going to always look for the softest target. They're going to look where they get the most exposure and the least resistance.
Robert Strang, thank you very, very much. Now to Ambassador Lincoln Bloomfield on the global threat here. Ambassador, is it your sense, and having been an Assistant Secretary of State in the early 90s, what we look for in these type of moments? I mean, if we're safe here, obviously, we learned that there are vulnerabilities abroad, particularly in Paris, even now in Belgium, et cetera. What is the global environment like right now?
Well, it's similar to what we've seen in Paris, and you know, Thanksgiving is here. It's a holiday in America. Terrorists like to get attention. So as you can see, the president and our Homeland Security forces are all on alert. I'm very grateful to them for that. But by the time you're playing goalie and trying to prevent the next attack, the question is, how are we going to stop this in the long run?
What I wonder, too, in light of the global alert, I mean, we do know from chatter, we do know from actually incidents that even though we could say we're on top of things, we're really not. Things go by, things miss us. The difference in the United States with this beefed-up presence pretty much everywhere, it gives bad guys pause. But does it? What's your sense of this?
Look, they only have to succeed once,
yeah.
And it'll be on 24/7 on all the media. We really need to judge whether we have a policy and a plan to go after ISIS and to go after the countries that are supporting or enabling ISIS, whether they're friends or not. We need to do something about this that's comprehensive, and I don't think the president is there yet. He's moving from being very passive to being more active after President Hollande was here, but this is not an all-in policy at this point.
Real quickly, Ambassador, when the president talked about we are taking the fight to ISIS, paraphrasing here, talking about all these airstrikes against ISIS and how effective they've been, I don't want to be cynical or jaded here, but they were apparently not effective enough to stop what happened in Paris, what could have happened in Belgium, what still might happen in Belgium. So I wonder if that bragging about that is doing anyone any good.
No, I'd rather walk softly, carry a big stick. I mean, ISIS, I have not seen what you could call a decisive operation to end the ISIS presence in Iraq and Syria. I haven't seen a decisive operation to stop Bashar al-Assad from using ISIS as a diversion. We have a transition underway, but it's not a real transition until he's gone. And the refugees won't go back. Even if we defeat ISIS, they were driven out by the Assad regime and the Syrian military. Until we have a real transition in Syria, they're never going back. If we do have a transition in Syria that takes the top level off of the Alawite regime, maybe we can persuade the refugees to to go back and create a better Syria, which would be the beginning of fighting ISIS. Iraq is the same thing. We've got problems there. The Sunnis have no place to go. The corruption is endemic. There are Shia militias driving them into the arms of ISIS. And Iran is behind all of that, and Putin is guilty as well. So there's a lot we have to do. We've got to figure it out and get serious.
Ambassador, thank you. I hope you have a safe Thanksgiving. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Neil. Same to you.
All right, when we come back, Karl Rove on the search for another Ronald Reagan. Do you know there were a couple of Ronald Reagans? You might not know that William McKinley might have been one of them. What Karl Rove connects in history, that is darn right historic and very timely right about now. He's next.